Sorry I'm a little bit late. I've never pre-scheduled it before. I didn't know how it works, but thought I'd try that. So did you guys get the schedule that it's going to start, that the live is going to start now? Can you just confirm for me, please? And just confirm for me that you can all hear me and everything's good. Wow. A lot of crazies in this park. I forgot to bring the attachment for my stand for my phone, so thanks, you can hear me fine, that's good. Yeah. So I'm excited to teach you guys a lesson today. Sup Renzo, hey JV, thank you Muslina. I think I got some messages before I started. Wow, new content. I think it is. Renzo, can you just confirm for me that you were, did you send those messages just early? You said wow, new content. Was that for this thing here? No? Okay. I wonder if that's from something else. Huh. Hey Luigi. Thank you Muslina, that's great. Your first time being early. It's pretty funny. Now, did you guys get some kind of like, was there like a thumbnail that had this video in your feed telling you that I was gonna do this? I'm just curious. Hi Mark John. Just let me know if you saw a thumbnail. Yes, there was. Okay, great. Thank you. It's my first time doing it. Just wearing my my hat. It's pretty sunny, and I do have a headache. I'm late because I was having a bit of a nap before I started, just in the park here, because I don't feel that great. But I think I'm good enough now. Just had a little nap. Okay, yeah, there was one thumbnail. Thank you, Muslina. Hey, James Bruns. No worries, Mark. Cool, JV from Philippines. All right, great. Okay, so now we've got a few people in. I thought I'd get started. So I've made, you can see my thumbnail. Hopefully it's not too bright. Learning great songs. Now, you could title it so many different things. All right, so from this point, I'll go over your comments. Maybe once maybe you can ask me questions as I'm talking, and it can be sort of an interactive lesson. How about that? Yeah. So I'm gonna go over all these 14 points and describe to you what they are in use. So I just gave them like one word type things, descriptions, so that it's kind of easy to fit on one page and it's a bit catchy. But of course they all mean something, and they're all something like practical that you actually do. So if you have any questions as I'm talking, feel free to ask me. Okay. And also guys, in the link below in the description, there's a link to my courses. So I have $150 150 videos. Half of them are for singing, and the other half are for guitar, a little bit of piano, a little bit of drums, and they teach you all the things that I learnt in a video format. So you kind of sing along or you play along, and you can learn the instruments. And it's only $19 US. So just the cost of a CD, the cost of a book, $19 US. They're from 2019, ones that I made this year, and as well 2017. So sort of a mixture of two courses combined, special for you guys. So you can invest in your voice, practice with those videos, and also support me financially. And hope you guys really enjoy those. Okay, so let's get going. List. Okay, the first thing you need to do is create your list of songs. Okay, do you have a list of exciting songs, hard songs that you can't sing easily, songs that when you hear them they make you cry, songs that when you hear another performer sing them you just want to listen to that song on repeat, you want to listen to it every day for a week, you want to listen to it 3 times in a row? Do you have those songs written down in a list somewhere? You need to have those songs written down, because motivation is very important, and this is where it starts, exactly like Dimash songs. I do have a student doing Dimash at the moment. So you you need to have this excitement, okay? And creating a list of songs creates that excitement in you. So that's your first step, because the excitement is important. It's also a form of organization. Without the organization, it's a kind of a plan, you see? Without this plan as to what you're going to work on, you can get lost, okay? So how are you going to create a better voice if you're not sure where to start or what it is that you're going to sound like? So make sure you have that. Next, loops. Within those songs now, this is the next step, okay? Some people take the first step and they have a list of songs that they love, but they make the mistake of not taking the next step, which is creating little loops or timestamps, like I do in my analysis, of all the parts in the songs that are difficult for them to do. So if there's a part in the song that you find you struggle with, it could be the whole song for you. But you can mark out the parts that are hard, parts that have a high range, parts that have a long note, parts that have a fast run, parts that have a vibrato, parts that are just the lyrics, but you find it hard to sound that same way. Whatever it is, you got to make your loops, okay? You might make 5 loops from a song. You might make 24 loops from a song. I have songs where I've made 45 loops. I'm not even kidding, okay? Over the years, I have a program in my phone called Amazing Slowdowner, an app, and I also use one called Transpose Pro for using YouTube songs. And you can use Amazing Slowdowner with Spotify. In those, I have them in my phone, not Transpose Pro, but I have Amazing Slowdowner in my phone, and I have hundreds of songs loaded in there with about a dozen or more loops for each song. And those loops contain all the parts that I find hard. And that's what I practice every day for about half an hour to an hour every single day, nearly. I do vocal practice, okay? And what do I practice? I practice within these things. So those loops, okay? Then next, chunks. Number 3, chunking. Now what the hell is chunking? Chunking is a term where you're taking something large and you're chunking it something small. So the loop is your first form of chunking. You're looping a hard part of a song. Your next chunking is taking that even further, and inside that loop, there's... Hey Amand, how are you? Amand is my student that's learning Dimash stuff, and he is incredible. We've done about 15 lessons, and in his last lesson, he actually got to an F5. Was that right, Amand? An F5 in belt chest, amazingly loud, and a D6 in falsetto. We made an amazing achievement. Maybe one day he'll post that for you guys on his channel. He's a very good singer. So, yeah, he thinks that one. So chunking, we're taking a loop and we're making it even smaller. So let's say your loop has 10 notes in it. We might need to work on just the first 2 notes because you're struggling on those 2 notes. You might need to work on 1 note at a time. That's chunking. So going 1 note at a time is a form of chunking. Going 3 notes at a time is a form of chunking. Okay, so let's say you're going to learn something like, how do I live without you? So, okay, let's say we're going to learn na 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 na. So we'll take that and make a loop of that, and then we might have to chunk it into just the first 3 notes. How do I... Just depends on the chunk that you make depends on your strength or weakness. So the parts that you're weaker at, you need to chunk them into those tiny bits that you work on, okay? So you're taking a larger loop and making it into a smaller chunk. Now the smallest possible thing is this section here, 4 second. Now what does this mean? Second means, can you sing each individual note in that chunk or in that loop 1 second, for a whole second, before moving on to the next note, in legato, which means a connected voice, like not taking a break between notes, and also in staccato, which is taking a break between notes. So for example, in legato, How do I live without you? So let's put a timer on so you can see. How do I live without you? If you can't sing the note, each note in a phrase for 1 second per note, you're not sure what the notes are. And that means you need to work on this kind of an exercise to understand the notes are clearly and highlight your weak spot. Because when you try to do this, your weak spot will be highlighted. The note that you're not sure of, you'll be like wavering between a note or two because you'll be unsure. You'll be flat or sharp usually. Okay, it's my experience with all my students and myself. I've created on my website. It's very new. It's only just released, but it's still going through. I'm still creating more to it. It's called a singing pitch trainer, and it forces you to take one note at a time, but it tells you on a chart in real time whether you're singing the note right, and it tells you where you are respective to the note, flat or sharp, or completely off it. With arrows, it directs you where to go. And it also tells you how long you're holding the note for in real time with a counter. Okay, that program is going to be upgraded, so it's not heaps cheap. It's a subscription, so it's like a few dollars a month, but it will be upgraded, and you will not be charged for the upgraded features. So anyone who buys that will be supporting me, so I can pay, because it's thousands of dollars to create it, so I can pay for this, to create this app at this deep, at like more and more features to it. It's already got the first stage to help you learn to sing as much as you can alone, so that you don't have to, because lessons are expensive, right? You're going to pay thousands of dollars for lessons because it takes a long time. So I'm trying to create ways that you can learn to sing alone as much as you can before you need to do lessons, and hopefully you might not even need to do lessons, okay? Or many lessons. Because I can only teach so much in the week, and if you can automate it, why not? So that trainer that I created will help you figure out whether you're on pitch or not for singing 1 second at a time. And I'll go more into that later because it's still in its new stages. So I'm going to create a guide how to use it, all that in the future. But the idea is, can you sing 1 second per note? Anything, all right? Any run, any vibrato, I don't care what it is, any part of a song, okay? You should be able to do it. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. Let's go, test it. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. So ideally you chunk it, okay? Just do a few notes at a time. If you do more than 4 or 5 notes, it gets very hard. So the idea is to sort of just do 5 notes at a time, and then build up. So you chunk it into a couple of notes at a time, okay? And then you combine the chunks into the loop, and then move on from there. Speed. Can you take that 1 second per note? Can you make it faster? So let's say, can we go half a second per note, okay? So, how do I live without you? Get it? So we don't have the rhythm of the song yet. We're not doing that. We're just giving each note its equal time, so that you learn to never get any notes wrong. That's the point. Every note has to be right to sound beautiful. Then once every note is right, later, down in step 10, you can add the rhythm, okay, later. So getting every note right is so important. And that's why these strategies force you to do that, okay? Speed. This is all the things I do with my students, guys. I've tried to create it in a way that you can understand how hard it is and why it takes so long to learn to sing very well. It's not by accident. There's 14 possible steps you can take, and that's only this. There's more strategies, okay? That's just sort of a summary I've created. Can you take it faster? Okay, faster and faster. How do I live without you? Can you take it faster? Freeze. Now the freeze, number 6, is very important, because once you can sing it slowly, sometimes when you go faster, there's only one or two notes that you lose. So you don't need to sing the whole thing slow again. You can sing it all fast and then just freeze on the note that you're screwing up. Okay? How do I live with? That's an example. See how you got to freeze your body too. Nah. That's an example of freezing on the note that's difficult. Okay? Now, just to explain to you, you don't need to do all of these steps for every single phrase. This is a toolbox that you can choose from whenever your phrase or your song doesn't sound great. So you can choose from this toolbox which thing you want to use or you might need to use to help you take it to the next level to sound more professional. Okay? You don't need to go through every step every time. That's not how it works. You just need to pick which steps you might need. You might need 10 of these steps, you might need 3 of these steps, you might need 1 of these steps to take your voice to the next level. Okay? So you're freezing on the note, that's hard. So you don't need to sing every note slow. You just need to sing the notes that you're screwing up, try to freeze them. So how do you know you're screwing up? From doing the earlier stages, okay? Or you might already just be able to tell. That'll help you tell which notes you're not getting right. Okay, beginners can't even tell which note they're not getting right. That's why the 1 second rule and all these stages are important to help you just even get to the point where you can tell you're doing a note wrong. And that's why I created my app, the Singing Trainer. Go on my site to check that, where it can teach you, it can let you know, hey, you're doing this note wrong. Okay, it tells you, and that's very important. Key. Can you do the phrase in all keys? How do I live without you? How do I live without you? How do I live without you? Can you still sing the phrase in every key? Okay, that's important for your sense of key, so that you can sing a song in its original key or in different keys, because you might need to change keys for some songs. Can you do that? Can you easily change key? Octaves. Can you sing the phrase that you're singing in any octave? How do I live without you? How do I live without you? In your high chest. So you did it in the mid voice. Can you do it in the high chest? How do I live without you? Can you do it in your really deep voice? How do I live without you? Can you do it in your falsetto? So can you do it in about 3 octaves? Now, not every phrase needs to be done in 3 octaves. You can't do it because it depends where it already sits in your voice. So, but can you do it? You can usually do every phrase in 2 octaves, at least. Okay? But 3 octaves is the goal as well. You want to stretch your voice to go super deep, super high, mid-range, falsetto flips. Okay, you want to be able to stretch your voice, and it helps your sense of key, and it helps you also when you're training your range to be able to take those breaks and not always have to sing in your high chest. Can you flip to your falsetto? And can you also sing in your deep low chest to rest your voice? All right, you want to be able to use all parts of your voice, no matter what. You want to be able to use all those parts. You want to be able to flip to all those different parts of your voices. Okay? Crutch. What the hell is a crutch? Okay. Crutch is like an analogy for when you're on crutches, okay? What this means is you're using the assistance of a piano or of a singer. So when you're singing a phrase along with a singer, they're giving you a form of assistance. Have you ever tried to sing along with a singer in the car or something and you sound great, and then as soon as you try to sing it in the shower, you sound horrible? That's because when you're singing in the car along with a singer, you're assisted. They're your crutch, okay? So what you learn to do is you learn to take away the crutch and then bring it back. Take it away, bring it back. Sing with the singer, with the piano, without. And my app does that too. There's a mute feature, so you mute the piano so that you're no longer getting assisted when you're ready, but it still measures your voice to see, hey, are you still singing the right note? Without the assistance of the piano. So you got without, without, with the singer, a cappella, with the singer, a cappella. So eventually you get to the point where you're just a cappella. Okay, so that's the crutch phase. You're going with and without, as opposed to with all the time. Okay, rhythm. Can you sing it with a metronome? If I put a metronome clicking, how do I live without you? I want to know. I don't know why I picked that song, alright? I just picked it. Can you sing with the metronome while it's clicking? You can just go on Google Chrome and type metronome. Can you sing it at different speeds? How do I live without you? I want. Can you sing at any speed? Okay, you need to be able to sing and understand the metronome at any speed. How do I live without you? I want to know. You need to be able to have good rhythm and understand that. And now also, when you're singing along with the singer a phrase, instead of just doing like the 1 second like we were before, now we're doing it in time. So we have to learn how long each note goes for. So once you know each note, because you've worked hard to learn each note in the earlier stages, now you can start to listen to the singer to get the rhythm of the notes. How long is each note? That's what rhythm is. How long does each note and each rest in between notes go for? Okay? So you do it with the singer first, and then you do it with a metronome to push you to do it without the singer, but still giving you a guidance of timing to check if your timing is correct. Phrases. 11. Now we're going to start to combine phrases. So all of this has been how to learn one phrase. So now we're going to take that phrase, you're going to learn another phrase in the same way, repeat the whole process. You do it for every phrase in the song, making sure you're doing it right. Whichever phrases you're not good at, you use these strategies. Then you're going to combine the phrases. So you can, how do I live without you? I want to know. That's 2 phrases. How do I breathe without you? If you ever go. That's 4 phrases. So when you combine phrases, it's difficult because sometimes you can forget what you've already learnt when you've learnt each phrase on its own, because suddenly there's all this extra information. One phrase, let's say it's 10 notes, and the next phrase is 7 notes. Putting them together makes it 17 notes. So what you learnt in the 10 notes, you might forget it or make a mistake, even though you've learnt it, because now you've added these other 7 notes. Okay, so this stage is combining phrases. So what do you do here? The most common problem is to either forget parts of the phrase or to screw up as you're going into the next phrase because there's a rest between them. So it's like that rest puts you off. So you need to learn the transition from the last note of the first phrase and the first note of the next phrase. And you need to learn to transition those two. For example, how do I live without you? It's the last note of the first phrase. How, that's the first note of the next phrase. You, how, you learn that transition note, okay? Section. Now you're going to learn the section in its entirety. So maybe 4 phrases or 8 phrases make up a section. It could be a verse, a pre-chorus, a chorus, a bridge, an intro, an outro, okay, or ad-libs. They usually make up a section. So now you've got to combine all those phrases into a section, all right? So it's getting harder and harder because we're adding more and more things together. So when you work on a section, that helps you memorize that whole section because you've worked on individual phrases. Now, can you do the whole section and can you do it on your own? Okay, that's the next part. Song, 13. Can you do the whole song from start to finish? That's the last stage, okay? Press record, perform the whole song with or without music. Can you do it? Do you remember it all? Do you remember all the lyrics? Now you're probably going to forget things and make mistakes, and it's going to highlight for you if you need to go back and fix things, okay? So this is an important stage, obviously, and sometimes people make the mistake of only being in this stage. The only thing they do is practice the song from start to finish, and that's just not enough. You can't get better just doing that, okay? It's only one step. You need the other steps to improve your overall ability and your overall technique. So don't get stuck just doing that. Now I've taught you all the other steps. You have some type of awareness of them at least, okay? Even if you don't know how to do them from what I've said, you have an awareness. Analysis. You take that song that you've recorded and you analyze it. And when you analyze it, you start the process again, okay? Analyze it, and then analysis helps you maybe you need to work on harder songs. You can go back to your list. Analysis will help you decide. Maybe you need to create more loops. Maybe you thought you were good at something and you're not actually good at it when you performed it and recorded it. More timestamps, more loops. Maybe you need to chunk particular bits. Maybe you need to do the 1 second rule on some parts based on your analysis. Maybe you need to work on your speed, or slow down or speed up on certain parts. Maybe you need to do some freezes on some particularly hard notes. Maybe you need to try it in different keys because that key is too high for you or too low for you. Maybe you need to be able to check, hey, can I do this in different octaves? Maybe you need to check, oh man, I could do it good when I was with the singer, but I can't do it good without. So maybe you need to practice with and without that crutch. Rhythm, oh man, your timing was out sometimes. Sometimes you couldn't tell when to come in on a particular line. Phrases, this phrase sounded good, but this one didn't. Why? Work on combining your phrases. Sections, this section was great, the chorus was good, but when you got to the outro of the song, you sort of got lost. Or when you got to the bridge, you weren't sure how to transition from the chorus into the bridge. So you can check that. Song. Did the whole song sound good as a whole? Would you upload that cover to YouTube? Would you share it to your friends? Is it good? What do you think? Have you improved from the last time you did it as well? Don't just always compare yourself to the best singers in the world, but compare yourself to yourself. Have you improved from the last time you did it? That's the most important thing, is to check your progress as you're going. All right, guys, that's an explanation. Now let me go through your comments. Okay. Ed says, hi Rashad, I started with the C major scale interval vid, and I must admit I was surprised. I sounded pretty good. I have improved since I last messaged you when I was getting dizzy doing. Oh, fantastic. Well done. I'm so happy to hear that. Well done, man. Well done. Keep it up. I'm glad that you're getting better and my videos have helped you. James Bronze. I sing rock and metal, but I'm really fascinated with Dimash's style and power. How he blends all genres from phase to phase is incredible. Yes, he is. Rock and metal, cool, man. Just for Ed. Oh wow, how are you? I'm good, man, thank you. I like your videos, thank you. Actually, Dimash and your solo singing videos. Okay, great, thanks. Sorry for my English, no, it's good. Good luck to you and your job. We love you, #Dears. Thank you very much, I appreciate that. James Burns, I have 5 octaves. Wow, that's impressive. 5 octaves. So what's your lowest and highest notes then? Dimash is a countertenor, yeah? You know what, to be honest, I don't really pay attention to the terms that much of vocal ranges because they're not always accurate, because people train their voices and stretch their voices. Like Dimash is an example of someone who's extremely low. Now you wouldn't call him a bass or a baritone, obviously, but he's got a tenor range and he's got the countertenor range, the /alto range /soprano range. So it's kind of like, I just like to go off the notes that they can do more than that. But if you're going to add that label, yeah, you could call him that label. But I mean, then you'd have to label him a soprano, right? Or a mezzo soprano. Dimash is one of a kind. He's 1 in 8 billion. Cool. All right. Later, James. You too. Ash. Hey, man, can you please react to... Okay, send me the reacts in my normal comments because I won't see them here. A crutch is private. I use you as a crutch in the scale I practice. That's fantastic. Yeah, exactly. Then you drop out and just play the notes, and I was able to maintain pitch on my own. Fantastic. That's great. James. It's itchy, man. Peter. You can sing a high C5. Fantastic, man. That's great. It's a high note. Lorenzo, unrelated to the topic because I understood it very well. About increasing vocal range, how would you know when to stop training it? You don't. I don't see a point where you stop training it. When to stop increasing vocal range. You don't, Renzo. Just keep going. Ed, I didn't think I could sing at all, But just from the scales as a complete beginner, I actually think there is hope for me to at least be that's fantastic. And you know what? That's very common. That happens a lot in my lessons. People, they want to sing a song, and then I make an exercise out of the song for them using chunks and loops and the 1 second rule. And 20, 40 minutes later, they're like, oh my God, the phrase, I feel like I'm actually closer to it now. They actually get it, or they get much closer to it. And in the training videos, I use scales because I can't use songs in the training videos because it's copyrighted to use songs. So, and I don't know what you want to sing either. Do you know what I mean? So it's a great way to test your voice. It's good. Your videos and encouragement have definitely given me hope I didn't have before. I'm really happy to hear that, man. That's fantastic. I still have a long, long road to go. Of course, it's like getting a medical degree. You don't just do it in a year, even a year. You know what I mean? It takes a long time. And that's with guidance and assistance. Those people go to uni and study, and they have teachers and lecturers. Now I'm teaching you only through videos, meaning you're not getting any feedback. So ideally, the best scenario is feedback, which is why I've created my trainer, my pitch trainer, which is in the works. But the first version of it is available now for you guys. And the videos are the second best thing. You know what I mean? Because it's a video, it doesn't give you any feedback. But the trainer, I was always thinking like, I need to use technology to do this, to do what I do for a person, which is give them feedback. So I'm hoping that that's going to mean a lot for you guys. Training for the day. Oh, okay, yeah, good. It's vocally demanding, yeah. So you have to control it using octaves. So using the octaves one, you could also call that range. You control how much reps you do in your high range. So what you do is you do the high notes, and then you rest by doing it in your low octave, and it also stretches and relaxes your voice a bit. So you can either do your low octaves, or you can just completely rest for 30 seconds or a minute, and then do the note again. Do the phrase again, okay? So you don't need to do the phrase repeatedly. It's a mistake I used to make. Repeatedly sing the high, and then you're tired quickly because it's so demanding. So you do octaves to rest, or you do something else. And I highly recommend learning guitar so you can rest your voice and then do guitar for a while. And then you'll be charged up and you can do more range practice and you feel more excited to do it because you've gone and taken a break doing an instrument. Get my course to learn guitar. It's I cannot explain to you how important it is to learn an instrument, either piano or guitar, okay? Or both. But I recommend guitar because there's an excitement to strumming and guitar that you can't do on piano. But there is an excitement in piano because you can do a lot of melodic lines on piano that you can't do on a guitar because you've got two hands on piano. But the piano is the guitar is so portable, so you can just do it anywhere on the couch. It's so cool. So I highly recommend doing an instrument because it just feels so good, and it increases your ability to practice more because you can play chords. You don't have to always turn on an instrumental, and you can play it and isolate better. Whereas with an instrumental, you always have to use the software to make loops and isolate. This way you can just play like that. I'm telling you, it's so powerful. So yeah, man, take more rests. When it feels like it's hard, that's when you rest. Muslina says, I'm not a singer, but I like singing, okay? It sounds like a singer to me if you like singing. My family friends tell me I can sing, that's cool. That's good feedback. I never took lessons or practiced in regular basis. I think I can improve and your videos are encouragement. That's great. The fact that people already like you is fantastic feedback. A lot of people struggle because they don't get good feedback because they're not good yet, or their family is extremely critical. So to get good feedback already, you're very lucky. Some people take lessons for a very long time before they start to get positive feedback, before their friends and family, they don't necessarily tell them, hey, you're great now, but they tell them, hey, you're getting better. And that's really important to your psychological, when you put in hard work, you want to get rewarded for that. So the fact that you're rewarded already without even doing a regular routine, you're very lucky. So don't waste that talent. Okay? If it's your passion, you don't have to do it. It's just if you love doing it, keep learning and you're going to be rewarded because it's very fun. Yeah, I like Love. I don't know it that well though, enough to sing it. Love, so many things that I don't know it that well. But I've done it a bit in some lessons with students in the past. I use crutch and freeze usually when copying around. Fantastic, Nympho. I record my sessions so I can get a little feedback, not necessarily instruction. That's great, Ed. Recording, that's the part when you're doing a song, you should record it. Very good. Or just pieces of a song. Ed says, once you get the basics, does the process of using the 14 steps get easier and faster to reach the point where you're happy with the song? Yes, of course. The more you learn to do each step in this, the more variety you have when you're practicing and the more power you have over making your practice very effective. Okay? The effectiveness of your practice will get better with more strategies. And each one of these is a strategy that makes your practice more effective. Now, can you do this on your own? Some people can, some people can't. It depends. Everyone's at a different stage, okay? Renzo. Oh wow, never thought of that because I have been obsessed with singing that I have not focused on any instruments. Yeah, you should. You definitely should. It makes you a better overall musician. I am learning the viola, which you can definitely be more expressive with than piano, but piano is definitely as beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Yo, Fernando. I still can't belt. Hey man, belting is hard. I'm sure you can probably belt in your... Everyone can belt. You probably just can't belt the notes you want to. Everyone can belt though, right? If you can shout, you can belt. Hey Rod, thank you man. He says I'm a big fan. Thank you Muslina. Okay guys, thanks so much for being a part of my live. Please check out my website for my courses and use the link below for the discounted $19 US course. Have a look at the pitch trainer. Okay, it's around about $6 a month, I think, is the cheapest option for an annual subscription. And any updates I do to the trainer, because I have a lot of updates planned with the developers, they'll be given to you at no extra cost. Okay, the update's just going to happen for you. And keep in mind, every time I do an update, it costs usually at least a few $100 to $1,000. So you're getting a lot for what you're going to pay for. I don't want you to think it's too expensive. You are going to be getting a lot, and there isn't an app that's going to do what this does. I'm creating something that doesn't already exist. You guys know I already recommend apps like Amazing Slowdowner and Transpose Pro and My Piano and Metronome app. All that I already recommend, but I wanted to create something that doesn't already exist, you know, and in a very nuanced way to train people, to help you train alone the very similar or exact way that I trained myself or that I train my students that are very beginnerish, and even to the ones that are advanced. This program is going to help you no matter where you're at. So I put a lot of effort into this over the years, and it's an amalgamation or a summation of all of my experience over many years of training people one-on-one, and it's really going to help you. I'm so excited about it. It's where a lot of my time has been in working on this. Okay, because I really want to create something that can help you be the best singer you can be as much as you can alone, because my times are getting full, guys. I don't really have much space for teaching new people at the moment. I've got a lot of people that I do like regular lessons with, so about 8 to 10 people, so I can't do much more than that because I got my day job. I'm not going to leave my day job. So thank you so much for being part of this live and for supporting. What else did I put? I put clothing up as well. So if you're interested in getting clothing, you can look up my clothing on my website as well. And other than that, I'll just catch you guys in the next live. I hope this has been really informative. If it has, make sure you give a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and share this video so people can learn, or for people that might be interested in learning 14 steps to a better voice. Okay? Catch you guys next time. I'm Rashad. Bye.